As you should already be well aware of by now, I am fanatical about Halloween. And growing up, there was a big part of getting into the holiday spirit besides watching Hocus Pocus or putting up decorations, and that was by playing a game called Runescape. But what has Runescape got to do with Halloween? Well, for the majority of the year, nothing. But around Halloween time, there used to be something called the Halloween events. There were official ones which were fun, but me and my online friends also organised a few unofficial ones, and we called these the VGTours. Now before we get too deep into this, I just want to say that it's nothing that special. We kind of just walked to cool locations and talked a whole bunch. Kind of like Lord of the Rings. But I feel like this would be a good way to show you some cool Halloween locations whilst also showing you something that I did in my youth. So, let's begin. So, before we began, we would first agree on a costume to wear. Something that would identify us as the tour guides. This skeleton set was the most common choice, but we each had a mask unique to us. Mine of course being the green Halloween mask. One year, however, we all dressed like scarecrows, and another we dressed like witches and warlocks. But there were way more that we could choose from. Like, Creepy Clown Girl, Lame Walmart Werewolf Costume, R is for Ripoff, Gratuitous Nudity to Get Free Stuff Girl, Facebook, Ghost Rider Claws, Filthy Casual, and many more. But the skeleton and witches costumes have remained my favourite to this day. And if you're wondering why my character is female, well, that's none of your business. Now, of course, the only proper place to start one of these tours was Draynor Village, which, to those that don't know, is perfect for something Halloween themed. For starters, it's shrouded in darkness 24/7. It has its own resident witches, crows fly around the place, and just something about the style of these houses screams Halloween, but maybe that's just me. So we'd post to the forums and tell random people what we were doing, and then we'd meet behind Draynor Bank, where the tours would swiftly begin. So it became a sort of tradition to start the tours with what we called a witch hunt, which is way less exciting than you might have guessed. Literally, we would just go to all of the witches in RuneScape, and these are Aggie, Maggie, Wendy and Helda in Draynor, Betty and Lottie in Port Sarim, Hetty in Rimington, Nora T. Hag in Tavali, and finally Lenseek in Edgeville. We would then make our way south back to Draynor, and stop by a place called Draynor Manor. This place is creepy as hell. Ghosts still linger the halls, a skeleton shuffles in a claustrophobic room, and chairs mysteriously wander as if they're alive. There's also a gallows in the garden, and if you watch carefully, you might just get a glimpse of a ghost. But best of all is the basement. Skulls, candles, gloom, everything you could possibly want from the house of a vampire. And if you take a look inside the coffin, you can see that he's still here. Cool beans. From there, the tour would continue all the way past the Zamorak Cathedral, and to the town of Canifis. As with every town on this tour, there is something different about this one. Everyone here, besides this vampire and devil thing, is a werewolf. And after nearly dying fighting these wares, we'd set off walking again. But you have to understand that we were all talking as we walked. Not just about stuff in the game either. It could be about our favourite movies or a band we liked, anything at all. So when I talk about walking in this video, know that it wasn't just a bunch of walking like Lord of the Rings. The next thing we'd pass is Dr. Frankenstein's castle, where a surprisingly friendly creature with Hellwood graphics walks around, and a headless groundskeeper tends to the garden, though how he actually does that I'm not sure. And where Dr. Frankenstein is, I don't know either. But it doesn't matter, because next on our tour is a pirate ship, but nothing's really here except this dead pirate.
Let me take a selfie.
Opposite the pirate ship is a farm, and of course since it's on a Halloween tour, it's not going to be a normal farm. So this is what ghosts look like in this area. And here's what the animals of the farm look like. So, judging by their lack of transparency, they're still alive? Either that or zombies. The ghost farmer also has a wife, but she's still alive, and the fact that her husband is dead doesn't seem to bother her at all. How adorbs. Sadly, we've now reached the last location on the tour, Port Phasmatys. And I spoke about it in an earlier video, so that will explain the deja vu you're currently having. I won't go over everything, but the highlights of this town are this pool of slime, all these dead people, yay, and the ability to talk to ghosts. The cold wind passes right through you, doesn't it? Nope, I'm not dead. We don't speak to the warm bloods. I'm sorry, what was that? My warm-blooded ears didn't quite catch that. For some extra hilarity and ghostkin insensitiveness, you can wear a bedsheet, where you can discover how uncaring your character truly is. Woo woo woo! And my favorite, why do you still bother having ships here? I mean, you're dead. What use are they to you? So that's the end of the tour. It's kind of hard to show you how cool it actually was, but maybe after you've seen this you can maybe jump on Runescape and we can all go have a Hallowe's Eve tour again, but like a real one, all together and stuff. But hold up, we're not done quite yet. From here, we made our way back to Draynor, but not before killing everything that lay in our path.